My intro again. Hold on. I thought I was live. Damn.
Oh, we are live in a living color
Hold on.
tonight.
Go ahead.
It
Stop.
is me, the host, the BBB, Jason Rumble. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're streaming live on YouTube. The Gorilla Position Network in full effect tonight, Thursday, July 22nd. I want to give a big shout out to my buddy, Mr. James Allen Trooper Gilmore. Happy birthday! And on the panel tonight, as always, Mr. AJP himself, Adam Jack Pelly, Sidewalk Sam, and
Give me $1.
hit your music.
Come on. What the hell happened here? Hold on.
This wouldn't be an indie show without some sort of fuck up. He has more nicknames than King Kardashian has had boyfriends. He is Sticky Fingers himself, two for the pig, two for the sting. Jimmy Fingers, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good. Daisy Fingers is doing good.
All right, so Fingers, I seen that you got a shout out by your favorite radio host.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was hilarious.
He does that's his Charlotte impression, the robotic bullet point. Yeah.
That was a good one.
He shouts me out every now and then.
That was a good. Hey, Jimmy Fingers, at 1 a.m, I'm gonna give you my best Charlotte impression. I am here to get you. I am the queen. You have been deleted. I could do it. I can do it just as good.
Yep.
I got a raspy, annoying voice like that guy.
Where's Stiff?
Rumble.
Stiff isn't going to be here, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about CM Punk, maybe, but now I hear Bryan Danielson for sure signing with AEW.
And listen, Fingers, that's what I meant. You hopped all over me yesterday on 2 different occasions after I was giving you some credibility. Okay?
Gotta keep it.
And you know who drives me nuts is that Tristan Cropsey guy that's always laughs or gives a laugh emoji when I put my credible sources. I have credible sources, and I'm sorry, but I do. I called the Keith Lee because I knew.
Hey, that's my nephew, so go easy.
I'm going easy on him, but he always like he thinks I'm a clown. I want to go Joe Pesci like he's Spider. Say Spider, you think it's funny now? Ping, 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 ping.
Yeah, let's talk about it, man. It keeps heating up. I think Daniel Bryan was already locked up a week ago or 2. Punk, I don't know. See, now if this is all legit, it's going to not mess up. It's going to change the course of All Out. I think they're going to want Daniel Bryan to appear before then, which he can because his contract lapsed, and CM Punk could too because he wasn't under contract. I think that they can't figure it out. I think they want to debut Bryan in New York.
Yeah.
Well, whatever it is, I'm not a big AEW fan, but I'm tuning in. I am tuning in.
You don't have to be a fan to recognize that those 2 guys are definite needle movers.
But
who else is there?
Hear me out. This is what I want to squash altogether. Competition. Unless McDonald's and Burger King are across the street from each other, there is no competition. Mondays There is no competition unless they go to a Monday night, theoretically. Okay, hear me out. Let me finish. Then again, with the day and age of DVRs, Hulu, and all these other streamlined devices that you can just watch it the next day, I don't own WWE. I don't own AEW. I'm going to be honest with you. Nowadays, the numbers mean shit. Unless you're both in New York. Say one's at the Barclays, the other's at the Madison Square Garden, where you can compare the attendance. 19,000 strong at Barclays, 20,857 at Madison Square Garden. That, on the same night, that's competition.
Well, let me put it to you this way.
So to me,
You're absolutely right. You're 100% right.
I don't believe it's a competition. What I believe this is it gives wrestlers and or quote unquote workers, it gives them more of a leverage now again. Because when their contracts come up, they have the threat of going some other place.
And it's great for the professional wrestling fan because there's more wrestling out there.
So Sidewalk, I was just going to say the same thing. I'm clearly an AEW guy. You're a WWE guy. But at the end of the day, who wins? All of us.
Yes.
Because, now back to what Jay said, of course it's not a competition, but let's say AEW can get up to a 1.5 with CM Punk and Bryan, right?
They had 1.1 last week.
Did they? Okay. Do you think that those two guys could get them to 1.5?
Yeah, I think it could get them to almost 2 million.
Okay, so at that point, Jay, do you think Tony Khan would have the balls to go to Monday?
Yes.
Who wins? We all do. Because you know what? That would get Vince's attention more than anything. And guess what would happen? Vince would probably straighten up his act a little. Don't you think? Vince has to be pushed.
Yeah, but can I tell you, why push anybody? Why not just let people who like to watch WWE, why put the WWE back on top and try to, in 10 years, squash something that you love?
Well,
can I tell you? Because, listen, this is the whole thing that I get, but I don't get. We measure professional wrestling by Monday night. And if Monday night ain't right, everything else is much more over.
Yeah, but why does Vince have to even think about crushing or buying them out? That's probably not going to happen with the Khans. How about they just coexist in a competitive way that keeps the fans winning at all costs? Because, you know, in situations where, guys like Aleister Black or whatever that go to AEW, succeed, Brody Lee, et cetera, maybe Vince doesn't take the NXT guys and make them less than, and maybe starts to keep them built up so that way there's some new stars coming in through the pipeline, and you know what I mean? Like maybe it improves the product that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like the Monday Night Wars. And you know what? They don't have to go to Monday nights because you know what? AEW was a good show last night. Without a doubt, it was a good show.
It was okay. It was good matches, buddy. But if you're going to tell me that Andrade's with the other Spanish guys out there was fucking must-see TV, you got to be on Quaaludes because that was the absolute drizzling dog shits. Chavo came out there, cut a promo like he was there for himself. Okay, and I know where to go. Like, this is the thing about being a wrestler that I understand. He was in business for himself when he got in that ring. Instead of forgetting about being Chavo Guerrero, the wrestler, and getting the pop as if he's the man. No, he's not the man. Fucking Andrade is the man. He spent the first 2.5 minutes of that promo putting himself over to then come up with the most cheesiest, classic heel line and going, well, but nobody's as good as my man, Andrade. Like, buddy, come on. And then for Andrade's, like, people were making fun of his accent out in the crowd, okay? Then you got both other Spanish dudes talking. Then
I thought I heard a couple of what chants, man.
You got this greasy-haired, big-eared, gargoyle-looking midget talking with this man. Nobody spoke any type of intelligent English for people like myself to understand and get involved in the angle. If there was a fast forward button to fucking the speed of life, I would have did it right there.
I won't argue that. So what do you think Andrade needs there? Because you can't tell me that Penta and what's the other one? Who's the other lucha?
What they should have did is they should have waited for that gimmick. They should have never debuted Chavo Guerrero. The guy that's with Penta right now, that guy should have became the official spokesperson if Andrade's and those other two go together.
No. Who's the other Penta's brother?
Phoenix.
Oh, okay. Aside from that promo, which I agree with you, there's got to be something fixed there. You can't tell me that those guys can't work, man.
I didn't say that. Listen, okay. Shooting television to keep people involved.
No, I hear you. 100%.
Is one thing. Then that's where people don't understand. That's where Vince is different from watching just wrestling. I am not going to doubt that those guys don't make sparks fly when they're wrestling. Look, they're one of the best tag teams in the world. But to get over, legitly get over and be a legit world company like the World Wrestling Entertainment is a whole different ballgame. Your English, no matter what, and what you do on that shtick.
Wouldn't Andrade suit better with Penta and Phoenix, and then they dump Pac and be
hell yeah. And then, like, but what I'm saying is I would have never brought Chavo Guerrero out. I would have kept annoying Vicky Guerrero.
What about a mouthpiece like Ricardo Rodriguez?
Hey, he's not working.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Selena De La Renta, but it didn't happen. But I'm foreshadowing you could see that possibly happening, where they, as sloppy as that was, Chavo could be the mouthpiece, a credible one.
Yeah.
And
I just didn't like how he debuted because we're talking.
I agree, Jay.
He was there putting himself over, man. He could have healed it right. He could have healed it right away and said, where were those cheers when I was an active competitor? But on the more bigger and better things like my man Andrade El Idolo.
None of my dirt sheets guys praised that either. But there was sure that was a down point. As far as everything else, though, I enjoyed it. I thought the Cassidy Sting kickoff was pretty funny.
That was
I saw that.
See, you didn't tune in the other night when I gave my SummerSlam spoilers. That same logo that I sent, I wasn't supposed to put that up because my buddy who hooks me up with the news, he gave me 6 different SummerSlam logos, and he said, "Look for this to be 90% of what the lineup is." That's why the whole, listen, I agree with you to a certain extent, like the other night. I agree with you on sort of with the Keith Lee thing, but then again, I look at it from a reverse side of the coin where some people don't look at it, but some fans do look at it the way I look at it. Karrion Kross, I'm sorry to say, but if you've been following WWF television or WWE television as much as you have said you have, then it should have been of no surprise to you regardless if he's the NXT champion or not, that Vince McMahon was not going to put that kid down a peg or two. So for anybody to believe otherwise, they're fooling. Vince is still to the point where he thinks that program is the fucking minor league division, and he is trying to he doesn't care if he kills the stigma down there, to be quite honest with you, because Raw's his baby, and no matter what Vince does, Vince does. I put the post up about how people down in NXT, people were bullshit. And I told Mike, no, that ain't no, Vince didn't do that. Bullshit.
Jay, that doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right.
I understand that. Listen, Keith Lee, hear me out. And you can look at it from any retrospect you want. They're trying to build him up to be they're trying to build Lashley up to be a huge monster. And I know it's Goldberg that came out. That's a whole nother fucking 5 minutes of my time. But anyways, Keith Lee, even though he was off for 6 months, I think, in my own honest opinion, for him to come out there and surprise Lashley, getting a legit world championship match in his hometown of fucking Dallas, Texas, all right? Regardless of not if it was 5 minutes or 7 minutes, for the first 2 minutes, Keith Lee got over on Bobby Lashley. Hands down, got over on him. Did he lose?
He
yes.
did.
He did lose. Hold up. He did, yes. But was it a squash? No. Do I believe still, at least he wasn't out there jobbing the fucking Jeff Hardy. He was out there getting a fucking title shot after being off 6 months. Now, hear this. If the legit match spoiler that I got leaked to me as Keith Lee working with Sheamus, already known that Sheamus is going on leave for 2 months to be with his wife after he gets married, that means Keith Lee's getting the United States Championship at SummerSlam.
Okay,
so that happens.
So let's see where it goes from here then. I mean, I think that's great. And I don't know. I just think that Keith Lee could have just maybe destroyed somebody, so that way he keeps climbing that ladder to Sheamus, and Lashley could have beat the fuck out of somebody else. Or they could have just sent Goldberg out there right now and just get it over with.
I kind of think like with Keith Lee coming in with Bobby Lashley, with him being away for so long and coming in and wrestling Lashley the way it did, it shows he's still credible in a sense.
It does.
It gives him a little bit of credibility.
Well, see, you guys are workers, okay? So you can definitely see the bigger picture there. From my eyes, as just a fan, I was psyched to see Keith Lee, but then I was just like, oh, wait a minute, he's going to lose. And wins and losses from a fan, from me, they mean a lot. You guys understand the bigger picture, and I respect that. But this is why our shows are the way they are, is because you got fans and you got real professional wrestlers exchanging back and forth.
And see, that's the other thing. Like, not for nothing, this is being discussed. Like, this is already discussed with him. Like, if I was backstage, and just hear me out. If I was backstage, coming off of what they are coming off of, all right? I hadn't wrestled in 6 months, okay? You just came up to me and said, Jay, you're going to go out there for 7 minutes in front of your hometown crowd. You're going to get the first 2.5 minutes or so. It's your shine, baby. Fucking make it fucking count. It's your shine. You need to stay credible, okay? You're going to put Keith Lee, you're going to put Bobby Lashley over, and you're answering a world championship fucking match. I'm going to tell you this. If I've been off TV for 6 months and you're going to do that for me in front of my hometown, not only that, but it's the first live audience in 71 weeks. Buddy, I'm taking that as a great assignment. I'm sorry, Fingers. But
okay, well,
I agree with Humble.
From the inside perspective, that is
I
a
agree with
great
Humble.
assignment, Fingers. That's like say, hey, all right, here we go. Red Sox go to the World Series, Game 7. Chris Sale hasn't pitched a fucking game at all, but has still been eligible to pitch. It's like giving Chris Sale the ball for Game 7, saying, "Win it for us, baby."
Okay, I'm not. I won't dispute that any further. You know what I mean? But here's the
No,
thing.
I understand where you're coming from. You're the first. You're like when certain things happen on shows. I'm not gonna lie. You're the first person I think of.
You know, I was hot the next day. I was like, I'm not coming on. I'm not coming on. Stiff Mike had to call me. He says, look, man. He says, we're cool. I says, I know we're cool. I was that mad. All three of us, all four of us, if Mike was here, we can all agree on one thing all of the time. NXT is the top brand. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Across the board. So when I just see something like that on the surface, and we'll get to Karrion Kross, I get pissed because the list is long, guys. The guys who've come up from NXT, do I need to rattle them off? Because of what you said, Vince sees it as the minor leagues, but man, that list is long, dude. And you could even put veterans in there like a Bobby Roode or a. See, my memory's starting to go, man. But like tag teams like AOP, the Revival, Nakamura. Nakamura should be a 2-time champion.
Yeah, I think Nakamura's getting his push now that the crowd is coming back. And Revival, to be honest with you, Revival was let go because they were hard to work with backstage. It was known by a lot of people that
Did you see the last gimmick that they were presented with?
The clown gimmick? It was like clown?
Yes. Sorry. If you care about your creative, then you know what, I'm gonna be hard to, meaning that, like, you know what, this sucks.
All right, see, this is another thing. When Revival at that end, it was already known to Vince that they were unhappy and they wanted to leave.
What was what was the problem with EC3? What the fuck did he do wrong? He's a good talent. He's a good talent.
Yes, he was more
because he made it in TNA. Was that his punishment?
No, because he was over for a little while. I think it's just at times the newer generation, Vince doesn't understand that they're more willing and that they don't earn. He feels they don't earn the say yet, and it's too overspoken. It's a totally different generation. Listen.
Now that it's a different generation and Vince is 76 years old, don't you think at some point it's going to start biting him in the ass because it's not 1985, it's not 2001. It's like you can't teach an old dog new tricks, no matter how much money you have, no matter how successful you are as a businessman, greatest promoter of all time. You look at what Triple H does, and you know for damn straight if Triple H was running the main roster right now, you know it would be getting eventually. I mean, it could start biting them in the ass now. It will never put them out of business. I understand that. But AEW is going to keep getting a little bit closer. And again, that's good. We should all want that, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Do we want to see AEW fail just because you don't like them? I don't want to see WWE fail. In fact, I am pissed off all the time at WWE because of the obvious. We don't like the goofy shit, but then again, the kids do, so there's an audience for it, so I can't dispute it. I just have to realize that, okay, this is just not for me.
Yeah.
I never shit on the talent. I never say, oh, this guy's the shit, so this guy can't work. I know Miz can work. I just think he's a geek. He's not funny to me, but I know he can work. Everybody on that roster can work except for Nia Jax and Omos. Tell me someone else who can't work in WWE.
Yeah.
No, everybody can work. In fact, I would argue that they have way more talent now in 2021 than they did in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Talent-wise in ring. Not character-wise. But Hulk Hogan, he was not a great worker. He could work. In Japan, you can see videos of him. He can work.
Yeah.
But character, and like gimmick and like
he
promo.
grass character. I've learned something in my wrestling, and I go by it a lot. It's less is more.
That's okay.
And yeah, I if you watch me wrestle, I'm a less is more guy. And Hulk Hogan took less is more, and he changed the business with less is more.
But he could work. People think that he can't, but he could work.
Listen, Vince put his wrestling into a cartoon when his wrestling already was a cartoon. It wasn't drawn that way yet.
And we loved it, didn't we?
Yep. And my father used to say it best. Wrestling is soap operas for men.
Of course.
And WWE right now is more, it seems like it's Saturday morning wrestling without the squash matches. Because let's just face it, adults were not watching wrestling in the 80s.
No, they were not.
They
were not.
Exactly. It wasn't until Vince brought it like legit mainstream. Because they had Tuesday Night Titans back in the day on USA. They had shows, but I guarantee if you look at the genre of legit adult wrestling fan for that.
Oh, it was by like, and I know I told this story in Gorilla before, but for me, my exposure to professional wrestling did not happen at my house. My best friend, he lived, you know where I lived, Jason, over by the Newland Street Projects. I lived in a side street next to the Newland Street Projects. My best friend lived in the house, the very first Newland Street Project house. So I was always in walking distance to and from because it was close to home. So I would go see my buddy Vic, and we'd hang around the house. For some reason, they couldn't get cable down to my street on Holloway Street. For some reason, the wires. So he had Star Channel, is what it was called.
Yeah.
Star Channel in the cable box. So they would get WPIX, is where they would show the New York
New York, baby.
Right. But
still have that channel.
Also the Boston feed. So it would be on 2 blocks. So I would hang out with my buddy Vic, and we'd be kind of hanging around, and his dad was watching wrestling. And I would sit there, and he'd be like, "Come on." He says, no, I'm going to hang out with your dad for a little while, right? And then I would go out and hang out. One of these days, Jay, right? It was during the Andre Killer Khan feud.
Yeah.
Now, Andre had surgery on his foot, so they played it off like Killer Khan broke his leg. Killer Khan was beating the shit out of Dominic DeNucci real bad.
I know Dominic DeNucci. I met him.
And at this stage, Dominic DeNucci he was like SD Jones. He was doing a lot of enhancement work.
Special Delivery Jones.
And out of the crowd comes Andre. Jason, my eyes blew up. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" and my buddy Eddie, my friend's father, started to explain to me who he was. But my eyes couldn't believe the size of him, and he was real angry in the promo with Vince. You know what I mean? And his hands. And I was mesmerized. And then Eddie went on to tell me, he says, "Hey, he played Bigfoot in the $6 Million Man." So every Saturday after that, I think this was 79, 80, 81, around that area, whenever that feud was. So I would go over to Victor's house, not to hang out with Victor, but to hang out with his father, to watch wrestling every week with him in hopes to see Andre. And I didn't realize back then you didn't see Andre every week.
Yeah.
So in the process, I got exposed to Morocco, Captain Lou, those interviews between the ropes halfway in. So then I got exposed to everybody else. So then I just got hooked in, waiting for Andre, and then I just loved everybody else.
Yeah.
So that's how I got exposed to wrestling. And then during that era, as you know, and then I'm sorry to go too far in the weeds, but this is our show. Enhancement talent, squash matches. That's what we grew up on, and that's how everybody was able to build up till the cards came to Boston Garden. I know times have changed, and they did that all the way. And they did that all the way up until the Attitude Era, right? Now, as much as we love the Hogan, Hulkamania, when everything came into fruition, when it became mainstream, they were still doing the squash matches. But around 93, 94, I jumped off. It just wasn't cool for me anymore. Like I took a two-year break, but I was watching WCW at 6 o'clock on Saturday nights because
That's right. I watched that as well.
It had that old school feel. It's there where I saw Cactus Jack. I saw Stunning Steve.
Yep.
Steamboat. Orndorff was there, so it was just like, wow, this is good product.
I love the studio setup on that.
Exactly. Big Van Vader was there. Like they had, it was a throwback, okay, and it was like by this time Duke the Dumpster Drosy. It started really getting silly. So I was out. I was out, and then the rest is history. I got drawn back in by right here, baby. And then all of a sudden it changed, Jade. Now you weren't getting squad matches. You would get like main event matches every week, every minute. And that was okay because not only that, and I don't know how you guys feel about this as fans, it doesn't always have to be babyface and heel. Whoever's got that title, dude, you're a mock man by anybody. And that's how it went in the Attitude Era. It was sometimes heel versus heel. I like realism in my shit. Just a touch of realism. And you can tell that in the promos back then, too, because bullet points, add your own shit to it. That's the thing about WWE that drives me crazy because 9 out of 10 promos, bro, I don't believe. They don't make me believe in what they're saying because you can tell they're memorized most of the time. And I think AEW kind of does the bullet points.
Well, the inmates control the asylum at AEW. That's another reason why.
But don't you prefer promos that way?
Well, hear me out. If the producers know you can cut a legit promo, back in my day, they let you cut the promo for TV. If they knew you couldn't speak worth of shit, or you couldn't get who, what, when, where, and why over in 60 to 90 seconds, then they gave you other things. Then they would give you stuff.
Understood. And then in a lot of cases in the old days, that's why you would have a manager. But like I went and looked up a couple of your promos, man. I believed you. That was real to me. The promos you were cutting as a heel. I forget what it was, but you had the Bruins jacket on. I love that one. I was like, I believe Jason Rumble here. There's nothing fake about this. It doesn't look, what he's saying is memorized. Ken Patera couldn't cut a promo for shit. But he had Bobby Heenan. But again, this is why you should have mouthpieces. It's just like, why can't you have mouthpieces? Andrade clearly needs a mouthpiece.
Bro, I mean, see, that's the other thing I had said to somebody. I was like, there's so much that you can watch a person wrestle. But understand this, if you got 50 to 100 guys under your roster, your favorite wrestler isn't going to wrestle every week. You're going to have to talk or do skits to keep him on the program, to keep those people involved. And if Andrade's has to do 3 promo segments a month and then wrestle, it don't matter how good his wrestling is, he's going to get sick of him.
Yep. Do you think Chavo is going to be a good mouthpiece for him?
No.
I agree with you.
No.
I was very disappointed, and I like Chavo, but
he can never cut a good promo when he was wrestling.
Chavo has a fucking job because of what his name is.
I was hoping for Selena De La Renta.
Do you think Vince would let Chavo was awesome? That Vince would let Chavo go? For real?
No, I'm not. I mean, we can agree on this. I mean, for the time being, it's better than listening to Andrade. He can't speak English.
And I'd rather have him out there than Vicky Guerrero.
And Nakamura can't either.
But can I tell you something?
I like the
Nakamura.
I like the
I do too.
Sorry.
That's why. I just wish that they explained the pairing, like why and how did they pair. Like it's just, there he is. I would have liked to have seen a little story there to how they paired up But ultimately, Boogs and Elias would be one hell of a tandem or a tag team, wouldn't they?
Yeah. I like. Oh Jesus! What we were just talking. Huh. Now I
Maybe
forget.
maybe they're working towards that fingers. Maybe they are working
Drafts
towards
during
that.
the draft,
Boog,
but
Boogs turns on Nakamura, and we got a band maybe starting with Boogs and
without a
Elias,
doubt, without a doubt. But where would
and
that leave? But where would that leave Nakamura? Like, okay, he looks like he's getting a little push here.
He is getting a push.
yeah.
Nakamura still needs a mouthpiece. He's a super talented dude.
See, I don't mind his. I don't. That's what we were talking about. I don't mind the fact that he has a speech, a speech barrier, because sometimes his speech barrier is funny.
It puts him more over.
English.
It puts him more over.
When
Yes.
he first turned heel, he should have beat AJ for that title at WrestleMania 18. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He should have won the title twice. He should have beaten Jinder at that SummerSlam. Jinder held that. I know why, because of the India market. I understand that. But that was Nakamura's time, man. But he won the Royal Rumble. AJ should have put him over. And I'm sure AJ would have, but it wasn't his call. But the heel turn and everything like that should have been a bigger match. Nakamura should at least be a one-time world champion with his pedigree.
I think by the end of his contract, which is probably 3 years from now, I believe, he signed a 5-year deal a couple of years back. I think he'll be at least 1 to 2 time. I think before Nakamura's done in the WWE, that he'll be one of the grand champions.
I hope so. I'd like to see it. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I think he's held the United States Championship.
He's held the IC title too.
He's been a tag team champion, correct?
Yes, with no, he has not. With Cesaro?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes, I think so as well.
Okay, so he's had an IC title run too.
He's on his way to becoming a grand champion. So saying he hasn't had an illustrious career for his time here in the WWE would probably be an understatement.
Well, Bray Wyatt's a 3-time world champion. Does anybody even know that?
But I mean, now that you told me, I would have said maybe 1 or 2 times. I didn't realize 3.
He beat AJ and Cena in an elimination chamber for his first one. And that's when that whole Brody Lee, Randy Orton thing was cooking.
Yep.
Where it could have been like either Bray versus Brody or a 3-way between those 3 at Mania. But whatever, I digress. Bray's still one of my favorites. I wish him well. I don't have any hope that they're going to do right with him when he comes back. We fucking all of us hate Goldberg, except for Pelly. You don't.
I don't.
Goldberg should be putting someone over at SummerSlam and should be the Fiend or Bray Wyatt.
I think you get like I said, I have a feeling that we're going to see that match get interrupted by the Fiend, and that's when, as much as everybody wants to see Big E get his WrestleMania moment, he ain't getting it in Dallas. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Jay, Goldberg's only contracted to 2 matches a year, so if Bray Wyatt intervenes in that match, that's it. Goldberg's done. He's already wrestled his 2 matches because he fought Goldberg in February.
Good.
So another match for if they gave you $100,000 though?
I don't think so, man, because Goldberg don't love the business. Otherwise, he would find ways to, like, you take a guy like Daniel Bryan, for instance. You don't think that he was like a big advocate for putting Kofi over or getting guys over or taking losses for guys to get them over and being adamant about it? Daniel Bryan cares about the business. Goldberg don't.
Yeah.
He just thinks that he's a superhero and cannot lose to heels.
He's listen, he's not going to lose. I have a feeling it's getting broken up that this is when you're going to see the Fiend at SummerSlam.
Yeah, but where's the payoff? Is that the payoff that, like, he costs Goldberg and then you don't
I
get...
believe he has 2 more matches. I think the one match, even if fucking the Fiend comes out to interrupt at SummerSlam, that's 1. and then you wait 1-2 months and they go on it.
Yeah, but
and
he's
they-
already got one, Jay. He wrestled Drew earlier in the year. That's 2 matches.
I thought he had 2 more. I thought he had 2 more, including the one against Drew.
I think it's 2 a year, like a 2 for 2022, and that's it. I'll be happy to be wrong, because I would like to see Bray Wyatt squash the shit out of that son of a bitch.
But like I said, even if it is the last one, why is it not good enough for him going 6 minutes with Lashley, with Bray Wyatt interfering? Everybody fights, leaves Lashley laying.
So does the Fiend jump up in Lashley's face and be like,
no? I think what happens is Lashley is down and out, and when the lights go back all out again, the Fiend and Goldberg are not in the ring, and it's just Lashley laying. MVP like, oh, what the fuck? And then that's when Big E's music hits. Because
I like it.
Sorry, dude.
That works. That works.
Big E, as much as people want to say it, Big E is not getting a WrestleMania moment in Dallas. That WrestleMania moment in Dallas, sorry, is going to be Roman Reigns versus whomever he is going to be going against. And more speculation of The Rock being able to do this WrestleMania in Dallas. Things are heating up more.
Okay, so you're saying Big E cashes in at SummerSlam?
Yes.
Okay, I agree.
Everybody thinks that, oh, he's going to save it for WrestleMania because he deserves a WrestleMania.
Wait a minute. You're talking about Sidewalk Sam here. You're using the voice of Sidewalk Sam because that was his call, and you're going after my boy AJP right there by saying that. Is he not, AJP?
I hear you. I just think he needs his moment. He needs that moment.
That
not
moment will be
not necessarily not WrestleMania, but he needs his moment. If you want his moment to be SummerSlam, let it be SummerSlam. But he needs that moment. He needs that.
And you know what, AJP? It'll mean a lot too, because we're still freshly coming out of the pandemic. So this SummerSlam moment would mean a lot more now.
It's in a stadium. It's being compared to as what WrestleMania should have been.
Well, then I digress, and I agree with you that it should be SummerSlam.
You don't have to agree. Your opinion is your opinion. This isn't Russia. This is the United States of America.
Well, I'm in Canada.
Well, you're
democracy as well. I know my opinion, but you're right. There might be even more fans at SummerSlam than there are going to be at WrestleMania.
I just think WrestleMania in Dallas in 2022 is going to be revolved around Roman Reigns, and I'm really, really, really like
it's The Rock, baby.
I believe The Rock is going to be there. I don't give a I don't care about like if Stiff Mike was here right now. I'd be like, no, he's not. I gotta go up there to Maine?
I was just
you in the head. You knuckle rebel gears. No, he's now.
I was just gonna say, here we are, the three of us. Okay, we can like calmly disagree, but if the stiff one was here, wrong, false,
so
not happening.
So
no clown. The fountain of misinformation is now Stiff Mike. Where is he?
Everybody needs a every show needs that bully.
That's right. Wrong.
No, I'm now.
You know, if you got to look at the post when I don't know, it was about 10 minutes left of the match. I was like, okay, Seth is coming in, going to cost. Cena's going to come out. Mike King immediately. Wrong, clown. That's not going to happen. And then at the end, he was like, all right, I'll give you this one.
And just like he didn't want to admit it, when I told him that it was going to be Goldberg and not Brock Lesnar, no, it's not. Brock Lesnar's back up on the fucking day-to-day roster, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh.
He still won't. He doesn't believe Daniel Bryan and CM Punk either. He's still got like CM Punk and Cena doing the NWO. But I really think it's happening. I think that those two are going over to Jacksonville, even if it's short term. I think in Punk's case, I think he's looking for money.
Yep.
Because let's face it, the UFC money he got paid well. He's done some announcing here and there.
He's drawing comic books.
Yep. So in order to support that, I mean, let's face it. I'm sure Tony Khan can meet his number too, even if it's a short-term deal. But for Daniel Bryan, it's not about money. Not with him. He loves the business, man. He wants to be able to go to New Japan. He wants that freedom, and he's going to get it. And if he's going to retire soon, which I'm sure he does, in WWE, there's really nothing left for him to do. That would be a wow factor, because since he's come back from being cleared, he's done a lot and a lot of good things. What he did for Kofi, him turning heel was awesome. With the hemp belt, do you remember that?
Well, yeah, that was one of the best gimmicks ever.
He tried to he pulled Eric Rowan along.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And they were a nice tag team for a while. And then he just wrestled in the main event. He put Bray Wyatt over as the Fiend in a nice feud with Bray cut his hair under the ring.
Yep.
It was a nice program. Bray and Daniel are very close. They've some of Bray's best matches in WWE have been with Daniel Bryan. Years ago, people forget that Daniel Bryan was in the Wyatt family for a month due to a stipulation. And it was great. And then they blew it off at Elimination Chamber where he turned on Bray. They worked well together. I think Daniel Bryan's got a wonderful creative mind. I think he could help AEW.
Yeah, listen. If Daniel Bryan was writing for SmackDown.
Yep. Yes, he was.
You know?
I think that Tony Khan will give him whatever he wants. Light schedule, no problem. I don't think Daniel Bryan will go demanding a title shot or anything right now. Punk, I'll tell you this, and I think we can all agree on this. Punk has got to do something, because he's going to get to that point where newer fans and everything like that, they're not even going to know who the fuck he is.
Yeah.
We do. And there's nobody left out there that could make a big, impactful return to a new company other than those two guys. Who else is there that would even go into WWE? Who would be a huge, mind-blowing arrival other than those two? Other than CM Punk? Is there any name that you can come up with that would be a holy shit, like, oh my God, he's in WWE or AEW?
No, there really isn't. There's nobody out there right now.
And
there was one. He came back the other day, John Cena.
Well, there you go. But see, AJP, here lies the problem. And this is where Vince got to fucking straighten out his act. You better start building some new stars, man. And really, really doing it. Because
we said a couple weeks ago, like, he doesn't want one person bigger than the brand.
Fuck that shit. I'm sick of hearing that. Because I know that that's true. But guess who's he calling back to save his fucking show? John Cena, a guy that transcended the fucking business. Who's he relying on to fucking sell his show for WrestleMania? The Rock. He transcended his business. Is it such a bad thing to create a fucking superstar like that?
I didn't say that.
I'm not yelling at you, AJP. I'm just saying, to Vince, that mentality is going to fuck him.
I think he is building a superstar like that right now.
Who?
And the reason why, who? His name's
Adam
Mick
Cole?
Riddle.
Okay. I
got your Rumble, yeah. And there's a couple
If you
guys
look
down
at the WWE, all right, Forbes,
There's a couple-
hear me out.
There's a couple guys down NXT too that could do it.
Adam Cole's one of them, and guess what? He doesn't want nowhere near the
Adam
main
Cole,
roster.
hey, listen, Forbes, listen. He has pencil sticks for arms. He is not. I'm sorry. He is not no.
You don't think he could be an HBK type of player?
Unless he gains, and he'd have to gain at least 2-3 inches on his body. He has got the skinniest biceps I've ever seen. He's got the.
I think give this kid 2 more or 3 years of developmental.
He needs to get on a little bit of gas to get them arms bigger.
Yeah,
I see your point. I see your point.
His arms are teeny weeny.
They are.
2 or more 3 years in developmental. I like this Carmelo Hayes kid.
Yep.
That's who I like.
Listen, hear this. If you think about the WWE, they were very lucky during the Attitude Era to have Stone Cold and The Rock. Vince's it almost duplicated Vince back in the 80s having Macho Man and Hogan. Okay?
It didn't stop there, though. They had Taker. They had Kane. The lower guys, Val Venus was over.
Yeah, but those weren't transcending stars. He has the guys that are going to get over. Definitely has the guys that can get over. Elias can get over. Jackson Riker can get over. Bobby Lashley can get over. Robert Roode along with Dolph Ziggler can get over. Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. You need one headliner to go against those guys and make sure that you write a strong undercard. Matt Riddle can be that headliner for a 2 to 3 year span.
Okay, well, I'm on board with that. But you mentioned a guy like Dolph Ziggler, probably the best worker in the company. Nobody cares about Dolph Ziggler. Nobody cares about Bobby Roode. Big disappointment. I always loved Bobby Roode. I thought he had way more to offer.
Bobby Roode started in the independents here in Nova Scotia.
I think he's one of the most consistent wrestlers in the WWE, and he's been a mainstay around the tag team championships.
I think I don't think anybody gives a shit about Bobby Roode.
I would love to see James Storm come to WWE, but he burnt that bridge, you know.
He did, and James Storm was there before Bobby Roode too.
Yes. He burnt the bridge and asked for his release because he was pissed that AJ Styles didn't have to go to NXT and got the immediate call-up.
Bear Money was a great tag team. They were
that would be awesome. Him driving that motorized beer thing and then Stone Cold every so often coming out and drinking beers with them. That team would be OVER.
They wouldn't be as over now as they would have 3-4 years ago because, again, a lot of the WWE fan base is, younger.
But Monday night is different from Friday night and Wednesday night. Let's just SmackDown, like their audience was fine. I just think Fox runs a different show than USA. And you'll never, I think Monday Night Raw, and I hate to say this, in order to get their resurgence and to get the type of product we're looking for again, I hate to say this, I think they might have to leave the USA Network and be on a network that has just as much viewing, but less stringent on the adult content.
But does USA really put the strains on there?
Yes, from what I understand yes, because of the hours on which it's televised.
I would love Raw to go back to 2 hours.
It's that third, one of the main reasons why they went to the third hour too wasn't only because they were competing, but because between 10 and 11 you can make the product a little bit more adult oriented.
Yeah, but it used to be 9 to 11. That's how it used to run.
Yeah, and they had 8 o'clock hour because WCW was going on at 8 to 10.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
right.
why the third hour was added. The reason why they keep the 11 o'clock hour is because the later it gets, the more adult content you can add to your program.
No, but the Attitude Era Raw was 9 to 11. WCW started at 8.
And then they went to 3 hours. They went from 8 to 11. The Attitude halfway, like a year or two into the Attitude Era. That's when they added the third hour.
Nope. I'll debate you on this to the death.
Google it.
They went to the third hour probably around 2013, and I will Google it.
I believe they went to the third hour in 1998.
I'm going to say AJP. Who do you got as the winner to this bet?
As Adam Cole would go, boom!
I'm gonna have to go with Rumble. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Rumble.
I knew you weren't. I knew you weren't going to pay me any allegiance. But hold on, let me snapshot it. They went to the third hour on July 23rd, 2012.
What?
Yep. Hold on, let me get it.
That late?
No, I don't believe it.
Can you read it?
Yeah, see, I thought they went back way earlier than that.
No, I remember too because it kind of coincided with just before they just before they launched the WWE Network. I remember it because I remember the commercials for it, and this was right around the time that the Shield and the Wyatt family came into play. But yeah, no, 2012.
Wow.
It's almost going on 10 years, almost. But still a long time. But see, if you had it down to 2 hours, you'd probably eliminate a lot of that filler shit that we often complain about that doesn't need to be there. Look at SmackDown, man. It's, you know what I mean? There's no dead spots. No weekly wrestling show needs to be 3 hours. Oh, look, Stiff Mike just gave a what's up?
Yeah, I put that up.
Wrong. In other words, Jay and AJP, wrong.
No, it's now.
We went off track here.
It was officially the 1,000th episode.
The 1,000th episode?
Was the 1,000th episode, yep. The official writing on May 17, 2012, WWE and USA announced that Raw would switch to a permanent 3-hour format beginning with the 1,000th episode, July 23rd, 2012.
You would have think that would happen a lot longer before that.
See, now with this writing right here,
yep.
The way it's perceived to me when I see this, switch to a permanent. So I'm thinking that they had already did some 3-hour programs before this.
Never in the Attitude Era, bruh. These eyes were peeled to wrestling every fucking week.
There's a thing on here. It says, why is WWE 3 hours? Because WWE doesn't want to do a 3-hour weekly show. WCW didn't want to do a 3-hour weekly show either. In both cases, the reason for Raw and Nitro going to 3 hours was the same. Their network demanded this to be the case. So I'm going to tell you this, Mr. Fingers. WCW Nitro was well sold before 2012, and I believe that permanently, yes, I'll believe, but from what I'm reading right here, the Monday Night Wars.
They were 3 hours long. They were 3 hours long.
long.
Yes, I got to agree with Rumble there.
Stiff Mike, come on, bail me out here, but bro.
If you would do a Google, it says people also ask, and I hit why is Monday Night Raw 3 hours long, and that's the explanation they give. That's why I'm telling you, fingers. It was 3 hours, maybe not every week, but it was 3 hours well before 2012.
I'm gonna say no, and we're not gonna kill our show with this debate. We'll bring it to the message boards later on. It was not 3 hours during the Attitude Era. Nitro might have been.
No,
no way. They both were 3 hours at one point.
No.
Here, history of the WWE Raw Wikipedia.
I just Googled how long.
Throwdown, and if I don't get to talking about NXT just to prove a fact, I'm telling you.
I just Googled how long was WCW Nitro, and it says initially only 60 minutes in length, as was Raw at the time. Nitro was expanded to 2 hours following the 96 NBA playoffs, while Raw waited until February 97 to expand to the second hour.
Which Raw was always 2 hours, so that's wrong too. Raw's never been 1 hour.
Yes, it was. It was 1 hour in 93, 94.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, when it first started. Yeah, it was only an hour when it first started.
I guess Rumble, we might owe Mr. Fingers there an apology.
Well, when it says, I'm sorry to say, it's contradicting here what you read. If you read, it says, yes, it does say permanently on July 23rd, 2012 on their 1000th episode.
All right, Jay Rumble.
Yeah.
Raw was 1 hour from 1993 to 1995. 1 hour.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They went to 2 hours from 95 to 99. Okay, let me see after that. Let me see if this goes into your argument. Still 2 hours. Okay, from 2000 to 2005, they went to TNN, if you remember that.
Yep.
And let me see here. Wow, look at this, bro. Look at these numbers. 12.6 million was the demographic between like everyone watching wrestling. This is pre-DVR. That's sick. That's unbelievable.
You want to talk NXT, Rumble?
Yes, get NXT going. It's 2 hours, fellas. 2 hours until 2011, and they did a couple of 3 hour specials in 2011, which was before the 2012. But
so why I don't understand why Google itself on the history says why it went 3 hours is because it was going head to head with Nitro. I don't understand.
That's false.
But I'll be honest, like I said, I've always felt like it was 3 hours since the mid-90s.
That's because it was damn good, man. All right, fellas, let's get to NXT.
All right, boys, I got it right here. So, WWE NXT is changing each week. The roster evolves as its established stars head to Raw and SmackDown. And the July 20th edition continued to create new foundation on the black and gold brand. Raquel Gonzalez remains dominant in NXT, but she faced a threat unlike one she has ever faced before. Xia Li demanded a shot at the NXT Women's Championship, and you'll see that and much, much more and hear about that in our report. The Diamond Mine have attempted to make a statement at the expense of the Cruiserweight Champion, Kushida. The Japanese superstar will be ready and much, much more. Who will be facing in a match, I believe, that we'll read about with Bobby Fish, Roderick Strong, and Tyler Rust. And last week's NXT Karrion Kross was choking out Samoa Joe following a successful title defense. General Manager William Regal, the enforcer, promised a response, and something will be done to basically promising the NXT universe these actions and things would get done. The NXT Breakout tournament is continued to be on a roll, and Frankie Monet has begun an enigma in NXT. Tuesday's packed show promised much in an attempt to bring excitement back to a roster in flux.
Does anybody know if NXT was taped this week? I heard it might have been. Not that it matters, but I heard it was taped for some reason.
You know what? Thing is, it wouldn't.
The reason why I bring it up is because what happened on Raw might have been addressed differently. I heard it was taped, though. The shit that happened with Cross, which we didn't touch on, by the way.
What was that?
We didn't touch too much on Karrion Kross yet, but I think it might have been taped. If it wasn't, I think that we would have got a little bit more storyline about what happened on Raw, or maybe someone would have said something about it, especially Joe. If I heard my ears correctly, did William Regal call Samoa Joe Samoa Joseph?
I believe so.
That's funny.
Listen, the whole Karrion Kross thing right now, I love these two comments right here, and I'm gonna probably guess this is my buddy Rochi, Mike Rodriguez, and then this one was good right here, and I did put a post up about this. Listen, he got the rub by 4 to 6 of the best that's gone through NXT in the past 2 years. And regardless of not whether or not Mike said it was punishment or it was basically retribution because of people really, like, from what I understand, this is Roji, that match with him going up with no woman and nothing like that, that was legitly what Adam Cole shot about.
I know. He hit him with truth bombs. But at the end of that promo, he threw a water bottle in a Gray Scarlet, and Cross and Cole got into it backstage. And I think that, he shot the truth bombs with his bullet points. I think it just got to him because it was true.
Yeah.
So I don't know why Cross needs to be punished for that. Because he called him little man?
I don't think it's not being punished. Maybe Karrion Kross carries a big attitude. It rubs some people the wrong way. And there's rhyme and reason why they came out. And maybe Karrion Kross, like, we don't know none of this. Maybe he's okay with not being with Scarlett on the main roster, saying, you know what? These assholes, well, hear me out. I know but just listen. Appease me. Okay?
Picture the Undertaker in NXT, and they got him, and I'm not comparing the two, but like, take away his gimmick and his gong and just put him out there as a regular guy. Is that building someone for the main roster?
No.
Karrion Kross has got a wonderful, wonderful presentation. Why fuck with it?
It's the idiots.
Let's just make him a jag, just another guy. When you're starving from North, that's great that they're making a new star out of Riddle. How about you make 10 more stars when you have the talent to do so? Because Vince don't want someone to get bigger than the company. Sorry, because Vince don't want someone to get bigger than the company. Fuck that shit, man.
Let's get into a Rumble Diamond Mine. And
that opening contest on NXT, man, pits Fish, Kushida, Roderick Strong, and this Lust dude.
Rust. R-U-S.
So it's basically Fish and Kushida versus the Diamond Mine. I caught very little of this match, but what I did catch, there was hard strikes. It tended at one point to be a little sloppy. But then again, you got one green guy. You got a guy that realistically speaks Japanese, so his English. And, I just didn't think it was a very well mix of talent in there, but it was hard-hitting talent. I thought it was a good match, but I think it had the quality to be a little bit better.
Yeah, I thought the Diamond Mine, they're supposed to be this MMA gimmick, and they didn't utilize a lot of that MMA.
Yeah.
Bobby Fish, it's the best I've ever seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe because we didn't get to see a lot of him in the Undisputed Era.
No, he was always injured.
Yeah, or he could have been, forgive me for saying, maybe like the Marty Jannetty kind of guy in the Undisputed Era. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, but Fish and Kushida worked where I thought, if you're talking about the language barrier and stuff like that, they did work well together. So, but I agree with what you said, Rumble.
I expected a little more.
Yeah.
I think the heels didn't play it get enough heat.
Yeah, they did a double heat though, but they still could have done more.
I just meant reaction-wise by the crowd or playing it up. I don't think they did a good enough job as being heels. That's all.
Right on, yeah.
What do you think, Fingers? What do you think of that opening contest?
I agree with Sidewalk on this.
All right. Well, I like to read the official analysis because I didn't take notes for this show. I took them for Monday Night Raw, not for this. Bleacher Report graded this a C+. They believe it was a solid match, but like I said, it surprisingly lacked heat. Even with the attempted hot start, there is not enough of a story yet to be excited about Kushida making Diamond Mine pay. The group should be built more first. Malcolm Bevan should be relied upon more to hype this group. At the moment, the quartet lacks personality, and his loss and this early loss takes away from their mystique. Russ looks like he is the same man he always was, tapping out quickly when he got stuck in the hoverboard lock. If the plan is for Diamond Mine to compete with the top stables like Hit Row and Legado del Fantasma, the talent needs more direction and must win when it matters. I'll go real quick again. Roderick Strong has some of the greatest wrestling ability on the face of this earth, but he has got the personality of a fucking dry towel.
Agree.
I hear you. Yeah.
There's just not. He's like Lance Storm. He is this generation's Lance Storm.
I agree.
I agree with
And
that
the other kid just looks like shit. I'm a professional wrestler, but
he's the kind of wrestler the announcer announces his name, and then 3 minutes later you forget what his name is.
and there he is.
What's up, bozo?
See, he was definitely listening. What's up, you clown?
That's right. 3 clowns.
Yep.
Hold on, I gotta take my hat off.
Look at that freaking hairdo. Jesus Christ almighty. My bald head.
Mike, could you grow your hair in? Do you have a horseshoe if you grow your hair in?
No. Just I got a bald spot in the front, but that's why I shave it.
I got one in the back.
Huh?
Where are you
What
at?
are you doing tonight, Biden?
Yeah, I just got home.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the opening contest on NXT the other night? What did you think of that tag team matchup?
I thought it was all right. It set the pace for the night. I like Bobby Fish. You all know that. Kushida, they were good. I don't really know about the whole Diamond Mine situation, so we'll see how it plays out. They got to add somebody else.
Yeah, there's no personality. I compared Roderick Strong to this generation's Lance Storm.
Yeah.
Great wrestling ability, but absolutely no personality whatsoever.
Yeah, he was better. He was better in the
Undisputed Era.
Yeah, because he had people to feed off of. He's got no one to feed off of right now.
Yep.
And he's trying to lead the group, but he can't.
No way.
Yeah, Rumble was saying that manager should be utilized a lot more than he is.
Yes. He was awesome. He was wicked good in Ring of Honor.
Yeah. I agree.
You know, and then the other kid just looks like he's happy to be there.
Yeah. Russ Tyler, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah. He looks like he's just so glad that when he hops out of the car on a road trip, he can actually buy something at the rest stop. You know what I mean? Like, he just, all right, man, yeah, cool. I can buy water at the rest stop. I get a job now, you know? Like,
I agree.
So, second match of the night on NXT was the Frankie Monet versus Jace Jane.
Do you guys? Go ahead, Mike.
No, go ahead, Pelly. I'll go after you.
Do you guys realize that I think she's trying to wrestle just like her husband?
No.
I thought so. I picked up a little on that.
Oh my God! It must be raining men. Hallelujah.
What's up, Kazoo?
Look at that bald-headed prick right there. You look like a dick with ears.
Don't talk about fingers that way.
Hold on, I got to do my intro again. Hold on, I got to start over. All right, here we go.
What a clown.
AEW, baby.
You do realize that's not like confirmed, right?
That's not confirmed.
It's not official, right?
Yeah, it's not confirmed yet.
Daniel Bryan's not official yet, right?
Right.
Daniel Bryan is very, 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 very close.
Yeah, that's what I read that. So.
Daniel Bryan is more official. Punk is not.
Punk is not. And I really don't think he's going to end up at AEW. And if he does, good for him. But I think he's going to end up going back to WWE.
Wrong!
Anyways, I see the clownness is out tonight.
Buddy, you started a whole new thing because you know how the Miz will go. The Miz has this. Oh, correct.
Wrong!
Stiff Mike has the wrong.
The funny thing is he's the one who's usually wrong 3/4 of the time.
No, that would be you, Gazoo.
No.
Listen.
I am the Gazoo. I am great and I know all.
Stiff Mike
Yeah.
won the Fountain of Misinformation title off me last week.
I was
No,
first,
I
though.
did not. You clown. Not even close.
The fountain of misinformation.
That's what I meant.
No. You have that title locked up. You've been once in 6 months. Sit down and shut up. Go bleach your hair some more.
So
The funny thing is Fingers puts up today on the fucking channel. You know, oh, this just in. The Rock showing up at fucking Survivor Series. Hello, Fingers. No offense. That's information that's been known for about 3 fucking months. Come on.
You dummy.
I called out fucking Stiff Mike when he was trying to tell everybody about fucking Selena Vega or whatever the fuck it was. I gotta call you out too, brother.
You didn't call nobody out, you clown.
All right, here we go.
Whatever.
That's
Go
it.
headbutt some nails.
No,
You
Gino's
fucking
not there
hammerhead.
right now. That's Gino's job, not mine.
Oh, this is what the show's all about.
Capelli, turn your head sideways again.
No, fuck you.
Come on. Turn it sideways. You look like a ball peen hammer right now. Poor Jay. Jay wanted to get off the show. Now it's too late. He's
Jay,
done.
this has been a great day for me.
You're the
I'm
straight man.
really entertained right now. At the 1 hour and 15-minute mark, this show became much more interesting.
Listen, you know what just happened? Raw, if I was walking on to Raw, the ratings just skyrocketed.
They
Listen,
absolutely.
You couldn't skyrocket a morgue. Shut up. It ain't because of you, that's for sure.
First Stiff Mike came on. It's like Kevin Nash, and then Scott Hall came right behind him. You know, bow, bow, bow. You know, yep. The show.
Hey, Chris and I can be the outsiders. We don't care.
Yeah, we'll be the old siders instead because we're fucking old.
Yeah, and I'm the head.
Fingers can be a Bischoff.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Kelly, you can be Virgil.
No. Fingers is not Bischoff.
Don't do that to Pelly.
Listen, Fingers is Rufus, not Bischoff.
Oh, damn, dude. So hey, listen, I don't know. You know, I haven't had a chance to get caught up, but a couple things that intrigued me was, and I'm sure you guys touched upon it, was, you know, I guess now I understand why they put the title back on Charlotte to give it to fucking Nikki.
To give it back to Charlotte?
Yeah, I'd rather see Charlotte lose the belt to Nikki Cross than say Rhea, but I thought it would have been a little bit more credible if Rhea lost the belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she should have never lost it.
Hear me out. Do you know why it was that way? It's because if you remember, Nikki Cross is the one who started all this bad luck for Charlotte.
Yeah, no, I remember.
So it's like the wheel revolving, and here's the door of karma, and bang.
Yep.
Yeah, but will Charlotte win it back next week to get those numbers back up? Because they expunged
3 of her title reigns.
They expunged her NXT title reigns because so she was like a 14 time. Now she's all of a sudden 11.
Now she's down to an 11-time champion.
Yeah, what's up with that? Because it wasn't on the main roster, right?
I'm telling you right now, they're going to separate that NXT brand completely.
Yeah, I wasn't too thrilled with what they did to Karrion Kross. I thought it was.
Nobody was.
You don't say. You don't say.
But my thought process on that whole thing is something in me tells me that there is a disagreement between Vince and Hunter, and that's Vince pulling a power play.
Yeah, I said, oh my, I love.
I take it. Me and Mike actually agree on something.
Oh yeah. I was the one saying this the other night, and Mike was going, "No, not."
Was he going?
No.
Wrong.
You said they buried him. That was a punishment. So shut your bearded face.
I gotta side with that.
Okay, shut up.
I gotta agree. I gotta side with Stiff Mike
here. And then
here.
I also said that people down in NXT, people who have helped make his character evolve, they're going to be peeved about it.
Yeah, Finn
First
Balor, Adam Cole, a lot of people, and it makes
Adam
sense.
Cole exposed them.
Here's the
Yes,
fucked up thing.
but all at the same time, they helped create his
Yeah,
character.
I get that.
putting
I
him
understand.
over.
Don't get out
He's
here and
also-
get your mohawk tied up.
So
Karrion Kross will also wrestle Jeff Hardy again, and he'll come back more dominant the next time they wrestle. He'll become more dominant, and he'll go over him.
I agree,
bigger.
but damage is done.
Yes, it
Damage
is.
done.
Damage is done, and I think it. But I really think it was Vince said it. I think Vince and Hunter are on two different pages when it comes to NXT, and that was Vince saying, "My dick is the biggest around here." And
Yep.
this is what's going to happen.
He's a petty motherfucker, man.
Dude, they're
just what I think.
trying to make NXT their own entity away from Raw and SmackDown.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
so
agree with
Vince,
that. But you don't do it by killing it. You don't do it by killing the champion of your brand.
No, I understand. I agree. But what I'm
Especially-
saying is that Stephanie and Hunter want to buy out NXT and make it its own company.
Well, that'll never happen.
They should.
You know, it should, but it won't. It won't survive on its own without
Vince's money.
Vince's money. The other thing is, I think Vince is a little. If I was Vince, I'd be a little taken back because what used to be the quote unquote the minor league brand is getting better ratings for the numbers that it's drawing
And whose fault is that?
versus Monday Night Raw. That's
It's
Vince.
Vince's
Who's
fault.
fault is it, Capelli?
What's that, buddy?
It's totally
Vince's fault.
Vince's fault for that.
Well-
He's got the same stars. You know what I mean?
Thing is he wanted to be different. It's like one of those things, like you want it to be different, and when it becomes different and it grows and it succeeds and it starts to bypass your other product, you're starting to remake. I'm sure he has regrets about some of it, but the problem is the train ain't gonna stop, and there's no slowing it down. I just don't like what I saw. It wasn't good. It was, Jeff Hardy of all fucking people. Like, I love Jeff, don't get me wrong, but the statement that the guy put up, and even though Mike fucking made the comment, like I said, Mike was right, but it was a true statement. Like, fucking Jeff Hardy the week before lost to a fucking guy that probably hasn't won a match in fucking 6 months. And the guy Karrion Kross goes out
MJF.
loses in 2 minutes.
The thing I put up with MJF put up there about the fucking guy
Yeah.
who quoted like everything about that was the best thing. That was the best thing.
It was a true statement, though. I hate to say it, but it was a true statement.
Yep.
The other thing I didn't like, I mean, could you fucking destroy Keith Lee anymore? Like, what was that? Like, I get bringing him back, but you could have let him go over. You could have let him go strong, out the door strong.
This is where you and Fingers agree. And I'm not going to say that I don't disagree or agree, but I look at it differently. Whereas he'd been off TV for 6 months, you're trying to elevate Lashley, you give Lashley a big dude, and it's a title shot. Now, if they continue him to come back next week and get him over, I had a buddy of mine send me 6 leaked photo things that are meant to go out for the WWE promo picks, and one of the picks is Sheamus versus Keith Lee at SummerSlam.
Well, guess what?
Again, at this point, though, damage done. You took this big guy.
I don't have to say damage is done because he lost to Lashley.
He lost to Lashley, but he didn't lose strong. He
But he
didn't
got-
lose like
he got
the way-
offense in-
hey, let me hear me out. The way Edge lost to Reigns, Edge lost strong. He didn't look weak. He didn't look jobbed out. He did the job, but he didn't look jobbed out. There was a difference. To me, Lashley looked that they jobbed him out. He didn't do just the job. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I agree 100%.
That, to me, I'm saying to myself, why? Because if you don't have anything good for Keith Lee, do the right thing. Put him back in NXT. You did it with Mandy Rose. You did it with Finn Balor, and it worked. And it'll probably work with Mandy Rose. Put him
Is
back.
Mandy Rose? I heard Mandy Rose is pregnant.
She's on NXT now.
Yeah, I heard she was only on NXT for a couple of months until she starts to show signs of her pregnancy.
Yeah,
Oh,
so she's not going to work at all.
Oh, you can't. I mean, don't blame her.
Fellas, I got another like 10 minutes, and I'm gonna have to go.
You know,
No problem, buddy.
put him on NXT and let him shine there. Put him back there because he's the project once again is not working. Same thing that happened to the Ascension when they came up. Same thing that happened to the Authors of Pain or whatever the fuck it was. They're great NXT talent, and they get brought up and they get lost in the shuffle. They're not the Baron Corbins. They're not the Seth Rollinses and the guys that do come up and survive.
They want Keith Lee to work like a big man, so it's been told, right? What's wrong with the 300-pounder working like a featherweight?
I think it's awesome. I think he should work as a featherweight. It's a great gimmick, but
why change it? Why change what's not broken?
I don't know.
Because it's Vince.
It's poor writing.
He's stuck with the old, because it's Vince and he's stuck with the old school mystique that if every 350-pounder is going out there doing moonsaults and Spanish flies, jumping over the top rope, then those guys, every one of those guys is going to want to do that. And you're absolutely right. Well, it's just Keith Lee. Let him do that. That ain't going to go that way. You know why? Because every single fucking guy that's over 6'5" and 300 pounds starting at a local wrestling school is going to start to want to do all that shit. And then you're stuck with a bunch of 6'5" guys that work like Circus Olay people.
Remember, here's something else. You just saw it on Monday night. Todd did a moonsault. If Todd or Keith Lee hit a fucking moonsault on you by the size of their body, you shouldn't be getting up. You should be knocked out, and it doesn't make sense that if someone hits a moonsault like that and you get up. When someone like fucking, Rey Mysterio hits a fucking moonsault, or even Kurt Angle, they're not the same size. It just doesn't make sense. And then you got to remember,
some of these guys doing moonsaults shouldn't even be taking bumps.
Right. And Brock Lesnar used to do fucking shooting star presses, and Vince when he was in OVW. And Vince is like, no. Now go back and watch. If you guys haven't watched the Kevin Nash Broken Skulls Ranch, he talks about when The Undertaker fucking pulled him aside after a fucking house show.
I heard that. Don't ever do that again.
Sunset flip. You're a big man. Big men don't do that. He's when you're a big man. See, to me, if it's just Keith Lee, okay, it's a niche. But it's not just Keith Lee. It's Keith Lee. It's Todd. It's other big men in the business trying to do it. And I'm with Jay. It's like you're 6'5", 350 pounds, and you're doing moonsaults.
Jay, I'm switching to my laptop.
Yeah.
Everybody else is going to want to do it. And it doesn't make sense. Big men you need big men working like big men. You need brawlers working like brawlers. You need technical wrestlers working like technical wrestlers. And you need fucking, and you need the fucking, I hate to say it, you need enhancement talent to know how to fucking sell.
I think if anything, Vince would be pleased if he could learn to work with and be like Mark Henry with a twist.
Yeah, but you know what though? It took years for Mark Henry to get over, and the only gimmick that made him he was over character-wise as Sexual Chocolate, but let's be honest, as a wrestler, he didn't get over until he started the Silverback gimmick, and he was doing the
Hurt gimmick,
the house, the House of Pain or whatever it was called. I hate to say it because I see it myself as someone like who would write. I'd have a hard time putting Keith Lee over because I just don't like. He can work, he can wrestle, but I guess I don't know. Like to me, I don't feel the same.
There's no character there.
No character. There's no.
He's horrible on the mic.
He's terrible on the mic. Like now, you take Baron Corbin. When Baron Corbin first came up, I was like, "That's all right." He's just and then he's great on the mic, and then his ring psychology and the way he works and the way he tells the story, he's unbelievable. And that's why I love the gimmick that they're doing because you see the long-term gimmick here.
I wish I had posted the story on a few different guys in the WWE that were comparing him to Randy Orton in a way, shape, and form.
Oh yeah, they say he's a locker room leader, and all this other stuff, but he knows how to work, and he's psychology, and when he talks, when he was doing the fucking King Corbin gimmick, it was like everything he said, he sold. So
I love the broke gimmick right now.
Well, I love it because what it's going to do is they're going to try to build him as the next big face. Because he's somebody who gets humbled. Fans will say, all right, I can recognize this guy, and they'll bring him back strong.
After Cena, they got nobody.
Huh?
After Cena turns heel, they have nobody.
And I think with Corbin, you'll get someone long. And I'm telling you, Vince was smart. He'd rehash a fucking feud that was amazing matches when it was Corbin versus Reigns, when Reigns was the champ, when Reigns was the face. Break him down, do the whole gimmick, let him beat Cena, let him do the Rock gimmick. After WrestleMania, mark my words, Baron Corbin will start his feud. It will start a program with Roman Reigns. That's how Corbin will start getting built up little by little after they keep breaking him down. They're going to break him down all the way to the point where it's like, all right, you're going to start feeling bad for him on TV. And then
more and more now, everybody's getting behind this Rock train.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I've been saying this, but you guys all called me crazy.
You know what? I didn't think it was going to happen. And the more I read, the more I see the stuff that he's putting out on social media, it's going to happen.
It wasn't going to happen right now because of the Black Adam movie. They're done filming that. So that's why it's going to happen now.
Yeah. So it'll happen. It'll be probably a 3-show appearance. Shows up at SummerSlam. I mean, Survivor Series. You'll see him again at the Royal Rumble, and then you'll see him on Raw a few times, and then it'll be WrestleMania.
So,
and Roman he still puts Roman over.
Oh yeah. So, did you watch NXT last night?
I did not.
Yeah.
When is the AEW debut that they're talking about? Because I've also read
12th.
Don't be shocked if you see Braun Strowman on WWE or AEW television in the near future. So when is this AEW review?
August 12th, I think. August 12th.
August 9th.
August 9th.
I'm telling you, I think if they have that date, it's Daniel Bryan.
Is that the one in New York?
New York is September.
Yeah.
It's Daniel Bryan. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, they're gonna if they're gonna bring Bryan in, they're gonna bring him in before All Out. If Punk shows up, they're gonna have him come out at All Out. I don't think they're gonna bring him out the same time.
I just don't. I mean, I see Punk going there for like to try something different, but monetarily, Vince will blow AEW out of the water money wise.
He could do a year. He could sign a 1-year deal, and then Vince can offer him more money after a year. He could use it that way.
I don't know. Punk's mentally he's in a league of his own. He's very, everyone, we all know how he is. He's a stubborn guy, and he's sticks to his guns. I agree with him. There's probably really nothing for him in the WWE that would make sense to really entice him to come out. Whereas AEW has, Kenny Omega.
Wrong! No, just kidding.
I don't know, man.
Creative freedom.
But you know what, though? I don't know.
It means something to some guys, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. If he shows up on AEW. But, Bischoff did a podcast recently, and he said this notion that the boys in the WWE, that the workers don't have any say in their gimmick, he said is false. He says a lot of wrestlers present ideas to the writers, in that when Vince says, yeah, I like that idea, it's the writer's job to make it right and make it happen. He said a lot of wrestlers do get a lot of input into their gimmick. It's not just
Well,
John
Black
Cena's or anyone's.
Black said it on the Switch channel that what he's doing now is what he had pitched to WWE, and they were starting to do it.
Who did?
Black.
Malachi Black.
The Dark Father.
Yeah. Nice program he's in with fucking with Cody Rhodes.
He's gonna put Cody over.
Now, if Cody was smart, he'd do the job.
You better not. I'm telling you.
Buddy, the crowd. I'm sorry, the crowd went wild. Pelly, you out over and out?
I think so. I got a doctor's appointment at 8:50 in the morning. It's almost midnight here. 11:30 here. Rumble knows I need my sleep. All right. I'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot.
Later,
All right,
Pelly.
well,
See you,
Later,
brother.
pal.
Take her easy.
I guess the last thing that I would like to kind of just touch on really is the upcoming feud, which I think will be phenomenal. Seth Rollins and Edge.
oh yes.
It is
Yeah,
going
that's
to
gonna
be
be
a
good.
good program. I see a good program because I think you got two guys very similar styles. When Edge was Seth, when Edge was where Seth is now,
Oh yeah.
very similar gimmick wise, how they approach the gimmick. Like I said, I see that. It's going to be a good program. I really hope Goldberg does the job in fucking 10 seconds because I think that's dumb.
I've already expressed what I believe is going to happen with that.
Lay out your storyline, Jay. Lay it
Let me
out.
hear
We'll
it.
go get
All
some.
right.
It's a good
Please,
one.
no, please.
Let me hear
no.
It's a good one.
No, it's not gonna happen like that.
Let me hear it.
Everybody wants fucking Big E to have his fucking stupid WrestleMania moment. And I'm sorry to say, this WrestleMania in 2020 is going to be Roman Reigns and The Rock stage. Nobody
Really?
else.
2020, huh, Jay? It's 2021.
2022 is going to be The Rock and Roman Reigns' stage solely.
I
So-
agree 100%.
Okay? So my whole theory right now is everybody wants to write Goldberg off very quickly. Everybody wants the right way for the Fiend to come back. And I think that this makes some good sense on what they could do.
What is
I
that?
believe they let Lashley and Goldberg go around 5 to 7 minutes.
Which has got exactly what's going to happen.
Okay, I want the arena to go dark. I want the Fiend to be in between both. I want the
I want
light.
the
All
Fiend
of
to
us.
take out Goldberg.
I
Remember,
want
Goldberg beat the Fiend.
Yes, but I want the lights to go out again. When the
Yep.
lights go out again, it's just Bobby Lashley laid out in the ring. There's
Yep.
no Fiend. There's no Goldberg. Now comes Big E's music. Big E cashes in. But I want to swerve. I want it to seem like I want the New Day to become the Hurt Day, and Bobby Lashley's left on the outside, and I want them to turn heel, being led by MVP.
I love it. You know what? Perfect swerve. Do the double turn. You take three guys, turn them heel, and they go with MVP, and they get to, because then you can do the thing where they get the girls, and that's what it's all about. And that's what MVP wanted.
Mike don't like my creative wits.
See, that I do like.
It's
I don't
not-
like everything you
listen.
say, but I do like
Listen, it's not that I don't like it. It's just not going to fucking happen because they're not going to turn a New Day heel.
that. No,
All right.
no.
So
Here's what's going to happen.
minus the New Day turning heel, would you like to at least see Big E cashing in that way?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I don't. Big E is not going to main event a WrestleMania.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. So give
Yes.
him his limelight at SummerSlam.
And you know why? And I'll say this, because when that happens, Big E is your new champion of SmackDown after Raw. I mean, after the draft, because go ahead and say it, Mike. Now, give me the pre-wrong. Roman Reigns is on Raw after the draft.
The reason why I'm starting to believe you now, Capelli, and I'll say this, is because the water is starting to boil with the Rock rumors, and they are not going to put the Rock on Friday Night SmackDown.
Agreed. Again, listen, Vince, even though SmackDown is the better show right now, to Vince, to the WWE, Raw is still the flagship show.
I continuously say this to everybody, that wrestling, it don't matter if you're an AEW fan, Impact fan, wrestling is judged by Monday Night Raw.
Agreed. Which is why Vince is going to rebuild it. Like, you're going to see the New Day back together for a little while, and I do see a breakup of the New Day. I see, honestly, the Swerve, Kofi Kingston going heel. No one will ever believe it. I can see it happening.
I think Xavier Woods should be the heel.
But that's what everyone thinks, and that's what I'm saying. Vince is trying to think, okay, how do I get these people outside of the box? How do I get people to do this? To me, it would only make sense if you can convince Kofi to go heel after Big E gets the title.
Yep.
So, to me, I like your idea. What I think probably would happen more would be Kofi potentially goes heel, Xavier gets caught in the middle, and then eventually turns and goes with Kofi, leaving Big E by itself. That's the only way you're ever going to break up the New Day, is if they actually turned on each other, or somebody turned and went heel.
Yeah.
Big E was already a heel once. I think Kofi has never been a heel. I think it would go over well. It's like,
you know what's coming, right, Jay?
Huh?
What in God's fucking name is this kid wearing?
He's got his jorts on. He's got his fucking camo jorts on.
What in the God's name? Look at you're a fucking mess.
I see bigger legs in a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Fucking, is that CM Fingers or KFC over there?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And then fucking red shoes. It looks like something my grandfather would have worn.
So that's where my thought is at process. I think I agree with you. The best way, have the Fiend come out, lay them out, Goldberg, that's it. And then all of a sudden Big E comes down. Lashley's fucking, all staggered. Big E comes down, cashes in. New champ, crowd goes nuts. Monday Night Raw shows up. Big E's automatically on Monday Night Raw because technically that's the title for Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
And then it allows the door to get open to keep him on, put him back to SmackDown where they like him and where I think he really kind of fits the demographic better.
Yep.
And you get Roman Reigns where he needs to be. So, because Vince wants Raw to be the flagship, and that's where the number one champion should be, and that's where you put him. Then you also move Drew McIntyre over.
Where do you put the NWO?
Huh?
Where are you going to put the new NWO?
The new NWO?
Yep.
Who is in the new NWO?
Well, Cena's going to be leading it because he's going to go heel.
Oh, my God. You believe that shit? Cena's not going heel, man. It ain't happening. I know. I've read it. It ain't happening. I saw the rumors. That ain't going to happen. Not now. Not with the pop he fucking got. No way. Not happening.
That would make it all the better, though.
Yeah, it would.
But Cena's not full-time.
Fans would throw the trash into the ring, and then Cena says, this trash represents you fans.
Listen to me. The NWO, I think it's coming back. There's rumor is never coming back. The Four Horsemen coming back. They're not going to dig up an old gimmick just to try to sell money. It ain't happening. The NWO would never work.
2, 1, wrong.
The gimmick will not work. And it will
and
not.
Cena does it will.
You don't have the right people, and you don't have, and it's not the right time for an NWO gimmick. It's not going to happen. Mark my words. You got to do one with the bloodline. If anything, you're going to see somebody join the bloodline. I think eventually.
Naomi's gonna join it.
And that's a huge needle. That's a fucking huge twister. Who cares about Naomi?
Yep,
I don't think Naomi joins.
But
she's not blood.
You're gonna see a non-family member
really
eventually join the bloodline. Someone who's non-family that will kind of do the bidding of Roman Reigns.
Could it be this?
That ain't happening.
What a clown. That's really, I came out for this big shit.
That ain't happening. It ain't going to be CM Punk. Well,
CM Punk goes to AEW. He won't be using that music.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will, man.
No, he will not.
WWE don't own it.
What?
WWE licensed it. They do not own the rights, bro.
Yeah, but
and Tony Khan will use it.
He can't.
He can.
No, he can't, you freaking ding-dong.
Why?
First of all, Living Color owns that music, and they have a license agreement with WWE. The only place that can be used is in WWE for CM Punk. That is it. So shut up, clown.
It's over.
If what Mike said is whether it's true or not, but he is right that WWE could sign a deal with Living Color to say your song for professional wrestling purposes is exclusively used here. You know, if it's on the radio, they don't own it, but I don't envision CM Punk using that music. Just like I don't envision Daniel Bryan using that.
He's going to go back to his original name.
Daniel Bryan's music sucks anyway.
I can see Daniel Bryan coming out like to the Ride of the Valkyrie or something like that. Something stupid but similar. But it should be interesting to see what happens.
It's good for all the fans, man. It's good for all the fans with all this hot stove stuff.
I'd like to see Lashley lose at SummerSlam.
Yep.
I mean, look, he can try to be a heel all he wants, but he looks like a baby.
Yeah.
He has a baby face look. And remember, when Vince first was breaking him through, Vince looked at him as the new Black Rock.
Yeah.
Like, he's built like brick shit house. He doesn't have a mean tone to him. And he looks like somebody that fans could get behind. You know what I mean?
I think Vince's next diamond in the rough is Jackson Riker.
But I love him. I love it. Love it. I love him. He's just the intensity. I love it.
I think that's Vince's next diamond in the rough. I think Vince loves the muscle look, cuts a good promo. He has intensity in the eyes when he delivers.
Yeah.
Plus he served. Vince loves that too.
He's very believable.
And something that's behind the scenes, we all know who Vince loves and supported. And Jackson Riker got in trouble because he supported him. He did his time because of what he said, and he did his time. And Vince probably told him, "Kid, you got to do your time. You got to do the right thing. You know, I got to beat you down because you verbally supported Trump and stuck by it." But now Vince is the type of guy, always has been. If you eat your humble pie and you can survive it.
No, I'm not.
He's got the look. This kid's got to get a push. I'm telling you.
That's one of the main reasons why Ricochet's back on top. Ricochet did some fucking. He fucked up. He didn't listen at first, and now look, he's right back on top. You would never even imagine. And they gave him gear back on Sunday.
Yeah. You know, SummerSlam should be good. I know they're gearing it up to be a WrestleMania, but
the hell is that in the background?
I think the biggest thing that could happen in SummerSlam is what Jay said, if it happens, a double turn with the swerve, with the entire New Day turn heel and could become the Hurt Day with MVP. And you can see like MVP goes to do something, and all of a sudden, he turns around and whacks Lashley, and the New Day are there, and then they get in the ring, and you don't. That's all you do, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And they celebrate together, and then it's that slow, gradual turn, like it's your boys. Well, we're not your boys, but it's us, the New Day, and you start that whole gimmick, and then it's like, no, we call ourselves the Hurt Day, and it would be great. It would be a great gimmick.
I believe it. Yeah.
So, all right,
well,
boys,
we attempted to talk a little NXT tonight, but we talked a little NXT, but more or less, we just talked wrestling on Thursday Night Throwdown. It was good to talk, man. Good to have you on. Hey, just to let you know, sorry I didn't call you back the other day,
That's
man.
all right. I just called to shoot the shit with you, man. That's all.
I'm getting packed right now. We're coming down to Mass for a few days.
When you coming down?
I'm leaving tomorrow.
How long you down here for?
I'm leaving Tuesday morning.
Oh, let's get together Sunday. I got to do something on Saturday. I got to bring Lexi to up to a college. She's going up there for a couple of days to do a soccer ID camp.
Yeah.
You're around Sunday afternoon. Let's get together.
All right. I should be around.
When's the last time you were on twos, asshole?
What's that?
What's the last time you were on twos?
Twos? What's twos?
Two wheels, dickhead.
Oh, today? On my way to work.
Oh.
On my way to work.
I was just out. Just got home. I've been out most of the day.
Hey, if you need a good repair shop, I know one in Salem. Rick's motorcycle.
I almost got arrested. Like literally, almost got arrested. I took the bracket that they left on the fucking bike, and
what did you have done to your bike?
I took the cats out.
Yeah.
And then I did a big sucker air cleaner. So I basically did a stage one.
And he fucked that up?
Yeah, he didn't put it on the head. He put the bracket back on and then put the backing plate on the bracket. So it wasn't even touching the bike. So I was running an open throttle.
Oh. Oof. And you have fuel injected too, right?
Yeah, I could have blew my whole fucking shit.
Kid, were your eyeballs burning?
Oh, I was fucking infuriated.
You must have. That's all you smell is the fucking gas is pouring out. Dude, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, it's fixed now. It actually runs really good. So
good.
Yeah, I was out.
But excellent. Well,
it would be nice if we got together and went for a ride. But I know I'm not that important anymore. So.
Oh, here we fucking go. Oh my God. Sound like my wife when I don't spend time with her. I'm not playing anymore. I'm just playing with your friends.
Dude, we don't fucking seriously. The only time I get to break your balls is on here, and you're never on here either. So what the fuck?
That's because I'm an enigma. You know what? I'm like John Cena.
Yeah, you're an enigma, all right.
I come back and I get the pop of a lifetime.
Yeah, pop your ass of a lifetime. Paint that shit green and put antennas on it.
Just remember, buddy. Remember what happens when Roman Reigns gets drafted to Raw.
Okay. And remember when you're wrong.
The more I hear the Rock rumors are coming to WrestleMania, the more I believe Roman Reigns going to Raw.
If Rock is definitely going to WrestleMania, then yes, I can see that because Rock
listen to him now. Listen to him now. The great Kazoo already spoke, pal.
Shut the fuck up and don't give us some head.
You know what, Mike?
Go ahead, that's some nails.
Mike, you know what? In the words of you, wrong. You are wrong. When Roman Reigns gets drafted,
listen, the Flintstones called. They want you back on set.
Wrong. Thing is,
okay, dum-dum.
Yes, sir.
Thing is, do me a favor, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow when you wake up, look in the mirror and ask yourself one thing. What the fuck am I wearing for clothing right now? What did I wear? Why am I wearing red
Dude, you
camo jorts?
Fingers, you look like a fucking hobo from Somerville sitting on the corner. Like, seriously.
What is? Are you chewing right now?
I got a dip in.
There
Yeah.
we go. Yeah, you now
Oh,
the stiff mic a little bit. right
fucking
over there.
hat. The only reason why the hat's on is because it's 1-0 in the 7th inning.
I love
The
it.
water rises to its levels, man.
You fucking
Listen.
pink hat son of a bitch.
Listen, just like
You
just
got
like
a lot
Macho
of
Man
twisted
Randy
off
Savage.
fingers. Both of them. Look at them. Fucking
Cream of the crop
Vizoo's
that
head's
rises.
glowing red. We have those mohawks all twisted. It's great.
Bases loaded in the 7th right now. 1 out. Watch. Fingers, when they go ahead 3-1, you got your Red Sox hat right next to you?
It's right down there by my foot.
I bet you
Wait,
do.
Fox got bases
Fucking
loaded right.
pink hat.
Yep.
Fucking pink hat.
Let me,
Play
let
at
me
the
throw it
plate.
on.
Safe. Tied up 1-1.
There you go. Fingers, you can take the hat off now. And
Fucking pink hat son of a bitch. You're right,
And-
Jay. He's a pink hat.
He is.
Boston
Buddy,
Bruins have
the
signed.
worst part is I'd hate
4
to
years,
see,
right?
I'd hate to
4
see this kid's closet with football jersey. He's probably got a fucking Jets jersey.
All right,
Bills
hold on a minute
jersey.
now.
He probably has a
Okay.
fucking Tom Brady jersey.
Hold on. Everybody stay online. Hold on.
He's probably got a Tom Brady jersey.
Hold
I
on.
got a couple of
He's
different
probably got a
Brady
Tom Brady
jerseys.
blow up down, bangs it in the ass every night.
Capelli, stay online. Hold on. Hold
Here
on.
we go.
We're gonna,
Here we go.
The ultimate part was when he fucking. I will tell you this. I almost wish I could have went through the computer one day when I seen that stupid looking French snot rag on his head and that fucking Montreal Canadiens jersey on.
Great.
I was beside myself.
It was great because he's such a
No,
pink hat.
no kid from Boston. There's his jersey collection. Excellent.
oh, we're not
Wow.
done yet. Oh, yeah. Baby.
Ah! Oh, get it away from the Red Sox shirt! Get it away from the Bruins shirt! You're fucking contaminated!
Hold on. We're not done yet.
Oh,
Jay's mohawk's going twisted right now. It's great. Oh, yeah, you just slap in the fucking head for that. You
I
piece
am.
of shit. You motherfucker.
Look
I
at
like-
that.
I hope
Orange
that
Canadian
fucking
jersey.
Canadiens jersey burns.
Oh,
Burn in hell, you son of a bitch.
that Canadiens jersey is just downright despicable.
Fucking pink hat.
You pig cat, you.
Look at
Fingers,
that.
I've lost all respect for you.
Look at the Reggie Jackson
Yeah.
Orioles jersey.
When was he on the Orioles?
1976.
For like a year. And then he got traded to New York.
Well, just like the year I was born, right? That was my year, 1976. I'm gonna leave this thing like I left my mother's twat.
Nice. That's wow. That's that's classic right there. You
That's
big
it right there.
Have a good one.
All right, boys.
Boss.
Later.
I'll let you know when I get down.
Yeah, definitely call me.
All right, brother.
Later.
Bye bye, dum dum.
Wrong.
Wrong. Oh my god, this is great.
All
I'm
right,
glad I
boys.
just home to get online.
I'm gonna call it a night.
Hey, here's one for you, Jay. Look.
Oh, the A's pitcher. That's classic Little League.
Look at this. Here's Jimmy Fingers on the mound.
Oh, for George Law's team. When
Not
did
that-
they become the Braves?
That was before I joined George's team.
Okay. All right, Fingers, we're going to call it a night, brother.
All right,
Hey,
bro.
I'll try to make it down this weekend. I don't know what's going on because I started a new job on Monday, so I got hired by Boston Concrete.
Let me know. Good job, buddy. Good luck. Hey, for the host, Jason Rumble, for the APOC Stiff Mike, for 2 for the pink, 2 for the stink. He changes his names. I can't even think. CM Fingers, Jimmy Fingers, what have you. I'm the BBB Jason Rumble. Peace out.
Hey,
Bada bang.
is Boston Concrete going to draw the concrete from your head?